everybody and welcome! My name is Ursa and this is a game called Let Them Trade, which is a little game that I really wanted to show you because it is cute as anything and is incredibly fun. At the time of recording, this game is on sale on Steam for about 15 British pounds, which is less than $20, less than 20 euros. I don't know the specific amounts. I dread to think what's happened to the pound these days. We won't think about that. It is a hexagon tile-based city builder in real time that has charmed my heart away because look at it. It is so cute. It's really easy to pick up. It's remarkably engaging in its core mechanics, and it's one of these games that I can just show you immediately. So let's just dive in. We'll play. We're going to have a go on the first level called Beach Island. Now, there is an entire campaign available for you to play, which is fantastic at teaching the mechanics, but you don't need that because I'm going to tell you them anyway. So here we are, loaded into the game. And there's a few things that I need to show you immediately. Firstly, it's gorgeous. Look at it. Everything has been rendered to kind of look like somewhere between a board game and a town that has been carved by hand from wood. The entire aesthetic is gorgeous. It's also incredibly undemanding on your computer. It's also worth bearing in mind, and yes, there is a giant cat over there. The whole game has been rendered into what looks like someone's front room. This gives me Crusader Kings vibes, so that is incredibly sweet. Now, when you jump into an open game like this, there is a main quest that you need to achieve, which is going to take you right through the tree, right into the end of the game. But you also get these lovely milestones that will guide you. But again, don't worry about that. You've got me. This is the Castle Keep. This is effectively your capital. Although there's no real war in this game, it's very peaceful. The capital serves as a place for resources to get dumped. It creates certain supplies, it hoards certain resources, and starts with a nice little warehouse of goods that will get you through the early stages of the game. But this doesn't make anything. This is more of an administrative center. No. What we need to do is to look at our peasants. Now, the peasants are the cute little people that will go about making our empire fantastic, and they need two things to be happy. Wood, which is made from lumberjacks, and if you've probably noticed, there are wood tiles on the map. That is where you put the lumberjacks down. And then potatoes. We must make a load of potatoes for our citizens to live. Those are made on these lovely green tiles, the fertile soil, not this desert or this barren land. No, the fertile soil. So my advice is, beginning of the game, seeing as we have 10,000 coins in the budget, we can make two city centers. We'll start with one that makes wood. Wood sort of acts as the economy of our empire. And then we'll make one to make potatoes, which feeds everyone. Now, if you haven't guessed, this map doesn't have a huge amount of wood on it. So we're going to have to claim the wood that is available. I'm going to put the city center there next to one of the wood tiles. So this is a real-time game. You can see this is going to start making things as we go. Building a city center just takes gold, but as we build other things, we will start to notice that some of them take resources like wood and later planks. Those are all stored in the castle. So to enable that we can move things from one to the other, we're now going to build a road from one to the other. I don't really want to go there. Let's build a nicer road to there. I am very pedantic about this game. We are really focusing on the aesthetics of it all because it's pretty. It costs a little bit of gold to do that. But now all of our traders are internal traders. Think Civ, these are the internal trade routes. These can now move resources from one to the other. So we're now going to go into peasants. We're going to do two things. Firstly, we're going to build a lumber mill, which will now start to get put down. This lumberjack will generate more wood at the cost of some wood. So this is where our early game resources come in. If we click on it, we need two peasants to run it, and we have no peasants. So we're now going to make a peasant home, which is the same cost, and I'm going to build it right next to it. You'll see these little green arrows. Everything needs adjacency where possible to the town center because all the resources are administered via the town centers. So things will get delivered here and then shuttled to where I need it. And I'm also going to put it next to the actual lumber mill so that the people can go to work efficiently. If it was way over here, they'd have to walk all the way over and then walk back. And it's just not as good. Excellent. That's good. But each town, which, hang on, I'm going to call this charmingly Forest Town. These can all have up to 7 tiles unlocked. And I'm only using 3 of them at the moment. So we might as well make this a little bit better. So I'm going to replicate another lumber mill and another peasant home. Excellent. That's going to just be ticking along along and working away in the background, producing more wood. So you can see inside it takes 34 seconds for some wood to get made via the people. Then it's delivered back to this city center and then shuttled back and forth to the castle as needed. Every single place I have has a little independent warehouse of resources, but don't worry about this too much. The game will shuttle things around automatically. However, now we need potatoes. So we shall make potatoes. Keeping an eye out for some resources later in the game, like stone is quite useful. We've got some over here, so I'm not too worried about settling loads of it. I'm going to put the city center down here. We've got 3 lovely potato tiles to build. Again, build a lovely road. Make sure my people can get from one place to another. You'll see this in action in a second. And then we put the potato farm down. Again, we're having nice adjacencies. The farm goes down there and then a peasant hut next to it. Now the peasant homes can be put on any tile, including these barren lands. So make sure you use the barren lands for population and the nice, lovely fertile soil for the potatoes. Don't get that mixed up. We'll start off with 2 of each again. Now we can accelerate the game. I'm going to accelerate the game a little bit just so things happen, but you can take this as fast or as slow as you like. Look at that road. Ugh, this is exactly what I mean. I'm very pedantic about my road placements. Excellent. That's the first 2 resources handled. You'll see if we go into the peasant home, basic needs, wood and potatoes. Forest town doesn't make any potatoes. So what will happen is potatoes will be bought from this town and shuttled all the way over. You've just seen in the other direction, this town, again, we'll rename this Potatoville. This doesn't have any wood, so it's sending out a buy order, using its gold to buy the wood and then delivering it back, and it will shuttle potatoes in the other direction. We have an economy. And look, we're making coins. Every time they trade between themselves, they will give me tax revenue, and that's how I can afford things. So we have wood, we have potatoes. Next, we need to make planks. Planks are sort of the first building material that we need, and planks are made, you probably guessed it, out of wood. So I'm going to make the planks in the town that is making the wood. It sort of makes sense to keep everything relatively close. If I now put down the sawmill, you'll see, yeah, this red line is not so good. That's an inefficient connection, but I could put it there, which is sort of a little bit closer. So we'll pop down a sawmill. Again, it needs 2 people. So we'll make another little peasant town. And that is all 6 tiles produced. Lovely stuff. And that, at the very essence, is the core mechanic of keeping your peasants happy. However, there's a lot more to this game. We have unlocked the peasant home, the potato farm, the lumberjack, and the sawmill. However, there are 2 more resources that we need to work on relatively quickly. The sheep farm and the fishery. Both of these cost resources to unlock. So you can see that's 20 wood in order to unlock the sheep farm and 20 planks, and exactly the same as fish. In order to do this, our castle needs to spend resources. When it runs out of resources, it will buy the resources back from our towns. And yes, that will generate tax, but it does have a cost. So technology is effectively cost us to complete. It's saying the estimated cost is about 190 coins on both of them. I have 7,300 right now. So we're not going to have too much of an issue. We will unlock the sheep farm and then the fishery, and that will set us up. Sheep farms are especially effective on fertile soil. They have to be built on fertile soil, but also next to mountains. If you can do that, they are doubly as effective. So I'm actually going to make one in Potatoville. Fish, however, are a little bit harder to place. You have to actually have these fish resources, and you can see there are some on the map, but we don't have a huge amount of fish. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go and explore a little bit. Inside my castle, there is Sir Merrick. No, Sir Ursa. He's going to use some of his scout packages, which are made in the castle from potatoes, to scout the map. There is a lot more to explore, so I have a feeling the other side of this bridge, there is probably going to be some sort of glut of fish. So we're going to look for this. We're looking for other resources. We're looking for nice big forests. If we run out of wood, they don't have a lot of forests in this area. But we're kind of keeping in mind as, here we go. So Ursa now will just explore. Huzzah! Oh, this is like a tiny little island. Fair enough. We have found approximately nothing. Okay, well, he'll continue to explore for a little bit. But there is a certain benefit to having a quantity of efficiency within a town. You want lots and lots of things in the same town. For instance, the potato farm, I'm going to put into this first level of production, collective farming. Hold left shift and I can apply it to all the potato farms in the town. This puts 15% output for every other adjacent building of the same type. You can see there are no adjacent buildings right now. This potato farm is suddenly a little bit lacking. No matter, I can make adjacent farms by plumping one down right in the middle and then putting a peasant farm. The more resources you have, the better. Don't worry about it. You want as many as you can get. That's the general rule. The lumberjack is a little bit easier. It's just 15% output for every other building of the same type. So I'm going to click this and we go from 4 wood to 4.6. It's a little faster. Excellent. Currently, we have selected a research, but we are not doing any researching. That's because we need some castle buildings. The first one is the provisioner. I'm going to build the provisioner. It takes a little bit of wood, but this converts potatoes into scout packages. Now, we have 0 scout packages left because Ursa has been taking them all and using them to reveal a tile. Every scout package reveals 1 tile. I need more potato to tiles conversion. You literally make your food, unlock the map. It's quite cool. Really hoping you find a ton of fish. Please find a ton of fish. No, we really haven't. This island is useless. Go and explore over here instead. Like, change where you're exploring. Thank you. So my castle will now start to buy potatoes and make these scout packages, which is really cool. But the other thing it can do is a research center. We'll unlock this. It takes some wood. It takes some planks. But now we are going to be using our resources to unlock the research. Excellent. We are now unlocking sheep farms. Now, the funny thing is that Potatoville actually is a really good place for sheep because I've got 2 tiles right next to mountains that can be used for the sheep. However, we have reached our cap. The city is as big as it's going to get. Or is it? No, we can expand it. We can upgrade to a village. Now, this starts to cost a significant amount of gold and resources. But what we can do here is spend all of that resource to upgrade the town. It gains 2 increased city size limits. We can make 2 more tiles. And we also get +1 city transporters and +1 city traders. The traders are these things moving resources between the towns. The resource movers are the internal ones that move the resources between. They provide the peasants their basic resources, they take the potatoes away, put them in the city center. So they just make the towns a little bit better. In fact, actually, Forest Town has good places for sheep as well. This would be a fairly decent place. Yeah, I don't want to get into the habit of diversifying my cities too much. You know what? Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a new city center. We're going to make a dedicated place for sheep. Let's do it. Ursa changing his mind once again. So peasants, take the sheep farm, put it here, get it built, make another one. There, this is all going to cost me planks. These are slightly more advanced buildings. So this is why I'm having somewhere making planks is really important. And then 2 peasant holes and a road to connect everything up. Beautiful. In fact, I'm going to just make a couple of shortcuts with my roads just so my people don't have to be taking very, very long ways around. I know it's not the prettiest of roads, but I am an efficiency builder with roads. You've seen my Civ games. I railway everywhere. Woolopolis. Okay, so we are now making the sheep, which is lovely. This tile is next to a mountain, so it can be given 15% extra output, which is lovely. This one cannot. Okay, we'll come back to that one. It's slightly less efficient, but that's fine. Then with my 4th city center, we're going to settle down here. You are going to have 1 fishery, 2 fisheries, and a couple of houses. Yeah, this is not ideal. The accommodation is quite far away from the fisheries, so it will take some time for the population to move in and out. Don't worry, later we can probably make this a little bit more efficient. But again, there's the road. So if you hadn't noticed, all of the resources that we have currently unlocked, we now have somewhere that is making them. Fantastic. To celebrate that, I'm going to celebrate by going to ×5 speed in the game. Don't worry, this isn't the sort of game where everything spectacularly goes apart and breaks. Normally you can just have your game on a fairly fast speed and everything will sort of look after itself. We've actually got some wool floating around, so my fisheries, I'm going to make them 20% faster by putting a tiny bit of wool into the input. There you go, complicated product lines. What is this, Ara? Why are fish and wool needed? Well, if we go into our little peasant homes, you'll see they have luxury needs as well as basic needs. You make them happy, they contribute a lot more gold. So it's always worth keeping people happy. Okay, looking at the tech tree, what we're now going to do is upgrade a little bit of everything that we've got. Potato farms can be upgraded to be 20% faster. Perfect. Then lumberjacks, 20% faster. Done. Sawmills, 20% faster. Brilliant. Sheep, 20%. Fish, 20%. You get the idea. These are all really cheap techs. They will drain the resources, but by draining resources in the castle, we use our stockpiles, and by using our stockpiles, we then encourage the places to make new to resupply the castle. So the faster the resources are made, the more they're spent, the more money we make. It's an economy builder. And come on, tell me that this isn't incredibly satisfying. Just watching all of the traders move around, and we haven't even gone to the cutest bit. Look how cute this game is. Everything looks like it's made of wood. There's tiny little wooden people reading books. with little telescopes. That's not even the cutest bit. Look, the potato farmer is farming potatoes. We have tiny little peasant holes. They're sitting there chatting by the fires. Get back to work. We're cutting wood with our tiny people. There's smoke in the houses. There are tiny little fishing bits. Look, they're just swinging their legs as if they were having absolutely great times. And look at the sheep. Aren't they adorable? This game, honestly, it's so cheap and it's so satisfying. I'm really, really pleased I found this one. So you can see that the wood resource is pretty low. We don't have a lot of places making wood right now, and there's a couple of things we can do to sort that out. Fish on Sea doesn't have any other resources around it that it's really going to do. So I'm going to use this just extra tile just to diversify a little bit, make one more lumberjack. It's not the most efficient thing to do, but it certainly helps. It just means that we're using everything we can. Wool is still pretty low as well, so we're going to pop it here. This is something you do need to bear in mind, though. You can't build between two cities. There is such a thing as having them too close to each other. So what I've done is this wool city is way too close. It's way too close. I probably need to sort that out. And actually looking around the map, there are other really good places that wool can be produced. Now that Sir Ursa has explored more of the map. So deconstruct. I'm sorry. I've just eliminated an entire chain of resources. Never mind. Look, these two places are golden. We're going to build the new place over here. It's going to need a pretty decent road, but that's fine. Wool V2. It's even better than before. Again, we're just going to replicate exactly what we had before. 1, 2, and then houses next to and next to. It should be back up to speed in no time at all. And actually, both of these can be mountain goats now. So this is actually even more efficient than it was. And it's explored a little bit of the map for us as well, which is lovely. Go and explore this bit. This is where I would like to be. Oh yeah, wood. Wood is much better now. We have a lot of wood. Fish is now the big problem. However, there is now such a thing that we can do. So what we've done is we've unlocked all of the level 1 upgrades. Now we don't have any of them yet. We need to build them just by pressing this button to upgrade them. It costs a little bit of wood, costs a little bit of planks, and costs quite a decent chunk of budget. So we're going to focus on the stuff that we don't have much of at the moment, like the fish. I will upgrade 1 and 2 with very limited resources, these ones. And if we put planks into it, we can get 50% output. So let's do that. Yes. Excellent. Fish on Sea is going to be making tons of gold. You can actually see which towns are contributing more to the economy of my land. If it's got a load of gold in it, it's probably doing quite well. If it doesn't, it's probably not. Okay, what to next? We need to unlock a quarry. Quarries will let us mine stone on the map, as you could probably guess. And then we need to unlock the worker home, which is the next major thing that starts to let us upgrade into the worker tree. Way more advanced production. Oh, it's so satisfying. This game's so satisfying. Ah, more fish. Aha! There's another lake if we need it. Fantastic. You know what? There is no harm in just making things more economically viable. Let's spend some gold here by converting all of our villages to level 2, which effectively makes them have more tiles to use, but then makes the trade within them quicker. It's just generally a really good thing to do. It does cost quite a bit of coin, but I'll treat myself to all 4 of those. Okay, so some of these just took a little bit longer. You can see we're still waiting on the planks, so they have to be delivered across my empire. But everything's now beginning to upgrade, and we can just go for more quantity of resource, which is lovely. I really do want more potatoes because they are just a staple. Or do I? No. Instead, let's make a quarry with this extra tile. Again, this will need 2 workers, so we'll go to that. Perfect. And scaffolding, yep, +1 planks for 20% output is absolutely good. That will give us the stone resource, which is a very good resource indeed. Our sawmill is struggling to cope with demand right now, so I'm going to upgrade it, and I'm also going to build a second with a new place for the workers to live as well. So Forest Town is going to become just this really big site of industry. Urban development, increase city limit by 3. Oh yeah, it's looking good. This is quite fun. I'm going to make an advanced provisioner. Gives me way more efficient scout packages conversion. I'm going to treat myself to a trader speed upgrade just to make everything nice. A tavern, and then I think we're going to start on some of the more advanced techs like wheat farms, mills, and then bakeries after that. This is going to cost me quite a bit, so let's hope that my empire is, ticking along nicely. Speaking of, keeping an eye out for about other pieces of stone? I feel like I'm going to need more than one quarry, and my settlements haven't quite allowed me to do that. Actually, Forest Town might be the place for it. Gonna have to unlock you even more. But that's a relatively cheap upgrade. Yeah. Second quarry. Actually, we can do this efficiently. The quarry itself is going to take another 2 people. But what I can do is upgrade the peasant home in order to get +1 peasant slots. So we can effectively make these more efficient. Let's do that. So another quarry, and we'll upgrade 2 of these peasant homes. Lovely stuff. Forest Town's going to be quite the place. We're just looking at resources that we don't appear to have a lot of, like these potatoes are now being ferociously consumed. That's all the planks. Planks are being used quite a lot. Yeah, we're gonna have to upgrade our sawmills. I think I might need another one. That's good. We can do that fairly easily. I'm gonna try a tavern. This, I believe, converts resources into just straight gold. It's expensive. Could be pretty useful for us to use. Loads more forests that we found now. Okay, if we need more woods, there are plenty of places in the south. That's lovely. So the trader, yeah, really does use a lot of stuff, and we need 4 people to man it. Wow. Well, no worries. Let's build those homes and make sure that this tavern is just lovely. As we explore more of the map, there may be bandits that try and steal my trade, which isn't very polite of them. So what we're going to do to try and deal with that is to make a castle building called a barracks. This will kindly make a retinue, a defense force for me to use. Excellent. Planks and stone. That's a good use of stone, actually. And potatoes. Potatoes are really being consumed heavily. All right, I'm going to upgrade all of my potato farms. Maybe that'll help. Maybe not. I don't know. But wheat, the next resource. We need a lot of fertile land for that. And later on, we're going to need to be using a lot of gold. Do I make a city that can do all of that? Maybe. Iron over here as well. Yeah, I'm going to plonk something down here. Oh, I will when I have 1,000 coins. My castle, I think, is currently hungrily buying stuff up, which will detract my gold. So I'm making troops. I'm making map packs right now. There's a lot of stuff going on that's draining my economy. I could stop scouting the map. That would be an easy way of doing this. Actually, you know what? There's some cool stuff over here as well. Clay and iron and whatever. Okay, let's put something the other side of this bridge. Let's go for the wheat fields. This is quite far away from everything else, but I like the idea of having like a real distant super city. Like this island is pretty much just absolutely free to do whatever I want with. Got a second knight as well, who's going to go and explore the bottom of the map whilst Ursa goes in this direction. So if I convert the tavern to working workers instead of peasants, we'll have a lot more gold. However, workers are trickier. Workers require more goods like this wheat, so we might just have to come back to this one in a bit. Lots to do. Mill? Then we'll go for charcoal, which I do have here, just in this settlement. There's always something to do. A coal mine. Our workers yearn for the mines. Of course they do. Oh no, of course it's charcoal. That's totally different. Totally different. Okay. Got the charcoal burning over here then. One of those, and then a worker home. Excellent. Workers need a bit more wood and fish. Okay, well, that's good. We've got a fish town here, but they also need bread and they need clothes to be happy. Well, we'll see about that. I mean, as I say, look, our resources are now being stretched quite considerably, and fish is an issue. We need a lot more fish. In fact, actually, look at all this fish up here. This is suddenly looking like a much better place to settle. In fact, look at all this iron up here as well, and stone and coal and fish. Also down here with all this gold. Okay, I think this is the place we're going to make this. Let's get some more fish in. Goldfish is a good name. Something very satisfying about just sort of building things out from the beginning. A new place, a new home. We've upgraded potato fill so that we can make 2 more potatoes. Potatoes definitely is a problem for us right now. In order to make that happen, we're also going to need more peasants. And to do that, well, I'm going to just tax the city by taking some gold from them. I'm going to do it here as well. Cities with a lot of extra gold, you can just sort of strip them. They take a little bit of a happiness penalty for a while, but just helps you to build things. Here we go. 4 peasants extra to work the potatoes. We should get a glut of them very soon. Now let's make a mill and get some workers for them. This will help me to actually use my wheat. And oh my lord, we've run out of wood again. It's happened. Oh dear. Do I just treat myself to one more lumber town? Maybe I do, you know? Maybe that's what I do over here in order to claim all this iron for later. Yeah, that's what I do. Trust your gut, Ursa. More wood, and more wood. Quite fun, this. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, there's always something more to build. Ah, the mill wants to be adjacent to water for 20% extra production. Ah, I forgot that bit. Let's do it. Let's remove it. There we go. Then we can do this properly. Lovely. Oh, there's so much fish over here. Oh, wow. We've got some really, really big fishing towns now. Maybe goldfish wasn't worth it, but I think it is because the gold mines, I think, are going to be really, really important for us. This is fun. We can make the sheep have one less peasant in them as long as we put planks into it. I think that makes sense. Let's change them over. And that means we can have one more. We've now scouted the entire map though. So the costs are going to be much smaller than they were before, because we were spending a lot on these map kits. We don't need to do that anymore. Start working again on a clay pit now and a stone tool maker. Just making sure that we have a little bit of everything for everyone. Tailoring as well would be quite handy. Ah, finally getting somewhere now. Bakery and brick making. Those are the two next big ones for me. Go on, Capital. You can do it. Bakery ovens. Oh yeah, here we go. Now we've got it. Oh, here we go. Stone tools. So now things like sawmills. Look at that 70% output if I use stone tools on them. Now we're beginning to see some really cool stuff. Start upgrading these. A lot of them. Oh, this is going to increase the speed so much. So work on brick making. You know what? I'm going to upgrade peasant homes once more. They're actually very handy to upgrade. The less homes you need, the more population you have using less space, so that it just stacks together so nicely. Let's make a brickyard now with some workers for that one as well. With any city game, just the more of the early stuff you make, it just then spirals into giving you more and more and more late game. So let's get the level 3 upgrades on all of the basic stuff. Oh, look at it. Look how pretty it is. Look how content that cat is at the end as well. Delightful. We haven't made use of this little island at all, which does make me a little sad, but we'll get around to that. Making bricks though, which means I can now look to upgrade my towns to level 4. Oh, I've been needing this extra population desperately. Absolutely desperately. These bricks. I need more bricks. We'll make more bricks. It's expensive, but we're going to start the upgrade to every single town. It just makes sense. They work so much better when they're all leveled up. So we will just absolutely do that everywhere we can. We've got the coins for it. We don't have the resources, but the resources will come eventually, you know? Next upgrade needs iron tools. Oh, we're getting into the big stuff now. That's all the way up here. Yep, we haven't got that unlocked just yet. No, we do not. Look at this. The game has the ability to research something and then queue up something you can't currently do. Civ 7, take note. Oh, dear. I've just switched my tavern over to workers and I've got rid of some of my peasants and I've introduced workers as well. So this should generate a lot more casual gold, just converting really, really rubbish resources into something rather delicious. That's the plan anyway. Currently, just making sure that every single building in my empire is upgraded as much as it can be. Costs me a lot of resources, but again, the more resources you use, the more that are just churned around your empire. Just makes sense to have absolutely everything you can. Churning out. Just keep churning it out. More and more and more. Now gold, iron and coal. Yes, everyone, dance for me. Come, beautiful. I'm looking to just really get to the forge as soon as I can because I want to keep growing my towns. Many of them as I can. They're going to just be brilliant. Huge things. I mean, actually, some of them are not so good. Like Big Wood over here is struggling. Big Wood needs a bit more diversity, but we're going to get some iron actually. So that'll be really good. Big Wood will benefit from that. What's my most profitable one? Wheaton over here. Oh yes. Yeah, but you're making pretty much the entirety of the food for my empire. So that sort of checks out. Let's get an iron mine. That's the first of the new ones. We had a gold mine. Coal mine may have to wait. We need another upgrade over here. Well, actually, I don't. What I can do is just upgrade worker by one. Worker by one, that's 2 extra workers. This one can now be deleted. You see? There we go. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? And then I upgrade a couple more just for some additional population. Look, it's working. Got so much gold. This is working. And just as you go, keep upgrading upgrading everything. The faster stuff happens, the better it happens. That's what I keep telling myself anyway. Look how complicated these cities are getting though. They're sort of everywhere. The final category of citizen has been unlocked. That's good. Look at just the sound and sights of industry. Everyone's just doing what they need to do, going about their daily lives of these little wooden creatures. It's a really, really, really cool aesthetic. It really is. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. So where is our iron mine? Over here. So this is where I want to put my citizens. No space in this place though. So we're going to have to do some consolidation. 1, 2, 3 could be upgraded to get rid of 1. Okay, this is good. So we'll go 1 upgrade, 2 upgrades, 3 upgrades. Those just sort themselves out, and then we'll delete 2 things. Deconstruct that house. Don't need that anymore. We'll make a citizen home instead. These things need coal, bread, cloves. Cloves is a big issue. We don't have cloves. I'll get rid of one of the lumber yards, and I'll make a forge. Forges are really important. As are cloves. We need a lot more cloves. Worth checking this screen every now and then to see, have you got the same workers as you do jobs? Because sometimes you can end up having a little bit too much of something. Like I've got workers over here that are producing something. Okay, yeah, cool, that's good. The numbers all line up at the moment. Oh no, hang on, we've got too many peasants. So we could change something like that around. You see, it's always worth checking in. It's amazing what you miss. Amazing what you miss. Oh, Potatoeville has space still. Okay, it definitely is worth making more stuff over here then. I feel like these tools are going to be super useful to upgrade all of my cities. I need 10 of them to upgrade each city. Yeah. Really, really useful that. Expansion. Increase city limit by 3. Trader speed upgrade. Cargo speed upgrade. Yes. Do it. Okay, I will need chairs to do that one. That is a bit of a problem. Okay, just do that for now. And we'll make some chairs. Why do chairs haunt me in every game? Okay, we've got more space for more cities. Loads of them, actually. We have to have at least 1 fish place because, my lord, we have no space for fish. Like, start at the beginning and make your way through. Here we go. This road will be lovely. We'll call this one Gigafish. And you're going to know exactly what you need to do. It's going to start with 3 more, I think. 1, 2, and 3. But only 2 houses. We only need 2 houses because we will upgrade these. Oh, it's nice just being able to blanket upgrade everything. So that will take care of fish. Wool is struggling. I feel like wool shouldn't be struggling though. So much capacity for this. You know what? Upgrade to big town. We're going to upgrade all of our available ones to level 5. Do it. Make yourselves outrageously big. Yes, this'll do. Use all of my resources to do it. All of them. They've got so much more capacity. So much more. Level 5 is the top. That's it. They're as big as they can get now. Our traders can carry 50% more. That's a huge improvement. Everything should be able to shuttle around at a much better rate. So we've worked on the fish to an extent. Now we're going to work on the wool. I think on the north of this island, this is where we're going to put our 9th place. Just really stretching everything out a little bit now. I'm going to go for 1, 2, 3, and 4 sheep pastures, as well as just 1 place for everyone to live, because these sheep pastures can all be only 1 peasant each. This thing can be upgraded multiple times. So we've got the carpentry. Now we need pottery, goldsmith, armory. This is the big stuff now. I think I might make a new city that's just built for nothing but fancy stuff near the gold mines over here. Yeah, you know what? This will be it. Poshopolis. I'll convert it and link it in with this road, but I think I'm also going to build a bridge. A couple of bridges. One from here to here? No? It's a limit. Is there a limit how far the bridges can go? I think there might be. Yeah, you can only build it over 2 tiles. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll just make a couple of extra bridges. Lovely. It just cuts the corner slightly. Infrastructure. That's all you need. Just little bits and pieces here and there. Okay, this is going to be somewhere that works with citizens. So we'll start with 2 citizens' houses. No, let's go 3. And then pottery, a jewelry, and an armory. This is just going to be somewhere we have to funnel stuff to the whole time. You know what? I actually don't know if this is a sensible thing to do. This could be a terrible idea because this city's going to be reliant on imports from absolutely everywhere. Perhaps not. Perhaps that is a bad idea. We'll have a play. This may have been a very, very bad idea. I don't know. All right, yeah, I've been thinking about it. This is a really, really bad idea for a settlement because it's ages away from everything and it can't physically grow. So I'm going to leave this to try and work on all of these late stage improvements, but I'm also going to build in the places that I've already got because, I mean, it's just so much better. So basically, we're just going to spot the places that have a lot of extra spaces and we're just going to build from there. And you know, just everything that can be improved to level 2, at the very least, needs to be improved to level 2. We need everything improving now. Pottery needs clay, so we'll make some pottery over here. Yes, that'll be lovely. And we'll make a posh house to fill that up. Furniture just needs wood. That's all it needs. It's great. And let's get some furniture here. We'll actually treat ourselves to 2 places because I already have somewhere in this city for citizens. So we'll upgrade that. Actually, no, I can't do that. Not yet. Deconstruct. I like the deconstruct. You can just undo any problems that you make for yourself. Why be bound by your own mistakes? Don't let it happen. Now, you may notice my gold is plummeting right now, but it's because my castle is busy buying up resources. What I'm trying to do is have an absolute glut of everything in the castle. And that means if any of my new towns begin to struggle, the castle can step in and fix everything. That's the idea anyway. We'll see if that ends up working. I don't know if it will. If in doubt, just keep upgrading the basics. Go back to the beginning, get everything working. There was a bandit camp here the whole time. Oh, should have known. We've got to actually use our knights to have a look around the map and see what we can find, because I bet there's more. Yep, there was a second one here. They're just hidden. You can't see them. There's the last one. Oh, we're 3. We're 3 of all of these bandits. Amazing. We have space for 2 final cities. I'm going to pop one maybe over here. I think wood is honestly one of the biggest problems we have, but maybe there are other resources around that could be claimed. Specifically, it's planks. Planks are the worst bit. You know what? I'm actually going to pop it up here so that I can get all of this delicious, delicious mining rights. Let's go and do this. We need planks desperately whilst we try and upgrade one thing at a time. We'll get 1 lumberjack upgraded to 3 peasants, 2 sawmills, which is 5 and 7, which I think I can do with 2 peasant homes. 1 and 2, that's 4, and I'll upgrade those a couple of times. Everything is upgrading. These planks are needed in absolutely everything. Now, there's nothing that they are not needed with. Traders are always overloaded. Just any trader upgrade we can get is really useful. I think my last place, I'm gonna just pop it here because then it'll be very much in the middle of everywhere. And that's just really good for trade connections, I think. Okay, finally time. Aristocrats. To unlock the last one. This is the final quest. So we can get 100% average happiness in their homes. I'm going to be building them in this place. So we might as well upgrade it until we can get it there. We want everyone level 5 ideally. Let's start to build this. We've got all the resources we need. Once they're built, they require coal, which we don't have much of. Bread, got tons of that. Clothes, tons of that. Furniture, tons of that. Luxury needs. Pottery, that's being made here. Jewelry, tons of that. So really, it's just coal. Coal is forever and always will be the problem. So we're throwing money into this settlement here. I've got all 4 of the aristocrats placed. 2 of them are finished. But all of them are finished. We're just trying to feed them all. And all of the basic needs I've popped down inside this settlement. So we've got coal, bread, and cloves all being made here. We've got some workers that are now on the way to being made as well. I'm kind of thinking if everything that the aristocrats need is in the same city, that all kind of makes sense. It should just make itself, you know? It should just flow. And look at this. Happiness. Happiness is beginning to thrive now, which means we're getting extra coins. We have all the basic needs-ish, apart from bread. Who really needs bread? It's working. Build everything underneath. Keep the upgrades coming. It's working. Can't quite get the average happiness up. Oh, you know what I might do is I might spread this out just a little bit. Put a couple of them in other very, very big successful cities. Build one there. Get rid of this one. We're just going to spread them out a little bit. Maybe that will help. Maybe it won't. Maybe it was a good idea to put them all in the same place. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, this seems to be working. The delivery of this place seems to be very good indeed. This is good. This is good. Yep, everything we need. I just 96%, 97%, there's 98%, 99%, and 100%. There we go, quest completed. We have a beautiful, thriving, wonderful empire. Look at this. Look at the trade. Everything is there or thereabouts being taken care of. And that is Let Them Trade. This is just one map. There's a whole campaign. There are other different maps with different challenges and different techniques that need to be used. But for a small, little, cheap game, this is really, really fun. And again, as we just sort of slow things down a little bit, look how brilliantly pretty it is. It's just lovely. Anyway, I hope some of you go away and try this. I had a lot of fun with it. Until next time, I will see you all later. Goodbye. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Klibben Thurdas, Poppy Dude, The Nickerman, Mushkin Mandeltort, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Toon General, Kapoyobi Virani, The Uncivil Engineer, Radiatore, Debo91, Dan Jamo, Scott Stratton, Skeptical Bear, Cinnamon Beard, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Dr. Bobby, Mixomatosis, NTG Golfman, Indigenous 68, Teddy's Ursa, Barnaby Rex, Charlie Bears, Nate the Great, Alex Frost, Mean Penguin, Interplanet Janet, Frankincense Battlezord, Geography Teacher, Juvara, Morax, Sinikush, Echo Bear, Legally Trash, Sorted Dutch, Rad Bickley, Shadow of Gaia, Bob Tway, Abstract Fun, Slither Alley, JB Genius, Arctic Fox, Bookaluk79. Thank you everyone for your support. Goodbye!